Hey everyone, this is Carrie and Ryan, and it's the Between You and I podcast. This is episode 21, and today we have our special guest, DEJHA, who I've known for a really long time, decades, from the music scene in Seattle. She is a stellar musician with just a particularly beautiful voice. And I recently was listening to her music and putting together this playlist on Spotify that's called She Does It Well, She Does It Better. And I just kept putting one song after another of DEJHA's work in other bands like the Pinups, the Union Gospel, solo things. I mean, she's just done so much amazing work, and she does feel like a sister from another mister, I swear to God. And I just wanted to catch up with her. So, we talk about tons about music and our experience in it when we were younger, what it means for us today. And then we dive even deeper about being a conscious, adult, taking good care of ourselves and understanding what that entails as opposed to what we thought we knew in our 20s. So I hope you guys really enjoy it. It was an absolute pleasure. And here you go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. Ryan, I don't even know which one this is. Is it 21?
I have lost track. I can check. I think it's 2021, whatever works.
Yeah. Welcome to the pandemic. Whatever. But I have my friend DEJHA here. Welcome, DEJHA. Thank you for coming.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I'm super stoked to be here.
Well, we've been talking about doing this for a while. Yeah, you're happy to be anywhere, right?
We're like, you're really great to be with you, but
we are awake. We're here. Good enough. But we've been wanting to do this for a while, and so we finally got it together, and so I'm very psyched about that. And what sort of double reinforced wanting to make sure I got to talk to you is I recently made a set, not a set list. Oh my God, that's so bad.
Yeah, the playlist. That was so cool.
So I made this playlist on Spotify, and anyone listening, go listen to it. It was so much fun because it reminds me of just being younger and making cassettes. There you go, date myself. Cassettes for people, of mixes of songs. My sister Kaya used to do that for me when she was a DJ at WSU. She would send me cassettes of new music, and new music at the time was things I hadn't heard of in the small town. And so it was kind of a lifeline, and it was fun. So when I went into Spotify, I was like, oh yeah. I was like, this is fun to do. And I'm finding it very soothing. And then my second huge motivator was, and this is so egotistical, but I don't care. I was like, I'm sorry, but the women of my era of music were fucking amazing.
Absolutely.
And hence the title, She Does It Well, She Does It Better. And I had much more bitchy titles.
Right, those were toned down.
Yeah. Totally. I had ones that was like, she does it well and she's better than you. And that's how I felt. And because I was listening to, and I don't know if this makes me a cranky older person now, but I was just listening to all the music and thinking, one, it stands the test of time. It's so good. Like all the women on that playlist, and I got to make a second playlist because then the other people started dawning on me. The music and the performances are just fucking good, like excellence to me. And I love excellence. And as I think about, and this is probably the more, God, I sound like a bitch, but I was thinking about the scene today, and there are great people today, but I was like, it just reminded me how our folks cared about being excellent and good.
Yeah.
Like I can't think of,
there was a different level of, and I don't know, and I don't want to generalize too much because there's definitely people like that play modern music that I like, that I enjoy.
Sure. Totally.
Women specifically, but there was a certain level of authenticity that I think that was sort of that exists in all the people on your playlist, at least, and a lot of and the women in our community, and it really was such a isolated time and place. It was an experience, we were all having it, and it's kind of fun to think about, because I wasn't necessarily from Seattle, but I really came up in that scene. That's where I really became a real player. But how really magical it kind of was, I kind of poo-pooed it, and I always talked shit about, I hated the term grunge because it's like, it's fucking rock and roll. I mean, give me a break.
Totally.
And obviously the whole shtick behind it, I wasn't really into.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it really was we all were supportive of each other, and we all played together and came to each other's shows. And I mean, you put out my record. That's what I was so excited, because I was like, I loved it that you had, because I just re-released the Pinups record digitally.
Yes.
I had it, I just changed distributors, but I just, and I meant to post something. I probably still should. I'm so terrible at it. I'm trying to get better about the whole social media thing, having a consistent sort of presence.
It's a lot of work.
It really is. It's crazy. I mean, forget about it. I talk to Squires and I'm just like, oh, yeah, that sounds like
totally. Yes.
But I put it out again, and I was like, how do I wanted to do something about Good Ink, and so I'm working out how to.
Don't even worry about it.
No, but it's just more of the same, we continue to support each other, and we continue, you know what I mean? And I think that that's important. And I think that all of that music, it's just you making those playlists. That's another thing that you're great for. It's you're exposing it to so many people that wouldn't necessarily listen to it. Or,
Yeah. And it just brought up so many thoughts for me, just in terms of, contentment around work well done, pride in the artists that I got to be around, and that it's long lasting. It continues to be. And yes, I think it should be exposed to other people because it's just good music.
Right.
And there's also something about so I'm 54, right? So I've been thinking more about the power of the crone era of a woman's life, right? Which is to me about wisdom. Right. And there is so much wisdom there's so much life that's been led, experiences, and then, consequently wisdom and learnings that are super important and could be powerful for somebody way younger, and I think at this point, due to all that learning and, logging in time, doing music or living and all of that, at this age, you're better than ever. Because way more, and you are well practiced.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
When
there's a whole different. It's a different kind of strength. I think that what I'm learning about more in my late 40s, early 50s, whatever. I'm starting to learn that what I saw or thought of as strength has just changed completely. I find even in the music, it's the what I'm writing right now. I had surgery on my vocal cords last year. I don't know if you know that, but
I do.
That was a part of this too. But I mean, it's all whatever. It's all holistic, right?
Yeah.
It's part of the lessons, part of the life experience. But I just started singing differently and in a softer way. My approach to things is a lot different. And I see that as strength. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
The more vulnerable and the more real and the more accessible to the true emotion and, energy behind what you're doing. That's now, to me, that's the strength.
Totally.
Nice.
Whereas before I was fuck you, and look how I was doing. I'm just such a big goofball that it's so funny to think that I had this kind of idea about I'm a tough rocker chick or whatever.
Right. Well, do you think somewhat that's like the 20s, right? Like, but also, the grunge era was not feminine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
So
No.
here you are, a woman, and this is the environment you're in. Not that you didn't have a mind of your own, because you obviously did, right? Like artistically, but the environment we were in. I was saying this to Mike probably. No, I was talking to somebody about this, but I was like, just look at what we wore. Like today, I see a lot more women like putting on their feminine, like really enjoying like dresses or whatever they want to wear.
Yeah.
And I remember literally just dressing like a boy.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Not that I thought about it that way, but it was literally the scene
Like,
I
you
was
might wear,
in.
like, a baby doll T-shirt, but you were
Mhm.
definitely wearing like combat boots and Dickies, or
Yes. I thought I was way out there just by wearing like long skirts sometimes or vintage dresses, right?
Yeah.
But with combat boots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, that was the look.
Oh yeah, I loved your stick though, man. I gotta tell you.
Did
I have
you?
an image in my mind. Yeah, I have an image of my mind. Maybe it's a photo that I've seen. But yeah, you just said it in a vintage dress, and you look so great. You look so
Aw,
great. I mean, you're
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's really nice of you. Back at you. Um, well, the other thing I thought too was, even though like listening to the music of all those separate women, I also felt like, God, I wish we had hung out more. Like
Yeah.
I mean, Heather Doobie, I knew who she was, but I didn't hang out with her, right? Like I knew Rachel Flotard, right? Like, because we had her band prior to Viz Queen open up for Goodness all the time, and then Viz Queen.
Right.
So I knew Rachel, and Kim obviously I knew from Chris, but like in the grunge era, like I didn't know Kim. I didn't really have a pack of girlfriends. I was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so now I'm like, wow, wouldn't that have been powerful to have, I always like wishing I was in, getting my PhD in music when I was in my 20s instead of just now,
Yeah.
God, I wish we'd all gotten together and said like, you know what? Look.
I know. Well, because it was so male dominated. It just was.
Yes.
And
it still is.
And it still is. I mean, rock and roll in general, it's like there's still this whole kind of, and I definitely think that, I mean, everything's changing, even, I don't know, like people, is that even a genre?
Right.
There's so many subgenres. I don't know what.
Way too many.
I don't know if you have this experience, but anything new these days, I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck it is.
Right.
Like, it's got a little bit of everything. And in my mind, it was always kind of like rock and roll was the umbrella,
Right.
like everything.
Right.
I don't know. It's fascinating to me, but I definitely, I'm interested in being talking about it more.
Mhm.
As a woman, like
Yes.
yeah, I'm a woman in music. I'm a female. I don't know. Are you allowed to say female anymore? I was just asking somebody else. Is that like not PC anymore?
I think it's still okay.
Oh my God.
I can double check.
You're welcome to say female here. Celebrate.
I said it like, I think I tweeted something and I said female. Oh yeah, I was talking about Kamala Harris and I said, female vice president. And then I was like, fuck, everybody else is saying a woman or a woman vice president. I was like, well, that just sounds weird.
He didn't call her a lady, so I think it's okay. Yeah.
Check.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, but you know what I'm getting at. I'm sorry, I'm kind of digressing.
That's
here.
all right.
But yeah, just sort of stepping out in front of myself and stepping out and sort of like honoring that. Like, I'm a woman in this, and it's not easy for me. And I don't have the same kind of advantages as men in anything that we were doing, but in music, that's all I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. And I think I'm feeling that more now, especially older, right? That's when you start to get kind of written off. Like
that's no good.
In some ways. Or there's just like a new wave of people coming in, and of course that's the scene now. So actually Danny and I were talking about this. He's like, so what are we now? Like what would you say we are now? And someone Bensfold had a biography, and he had posed this question to himself, like, well, what am I now? And it was sort of this legacy artist, but still active artist, right? Like it's still legacy, but you are now really someone who's become experienced and long time. And so where are you in the musical landscape?
Right.
And so, but as a woman, I guess I don't, on the one hand, I'm like proud to talk about identifying my conversation based on being a woman. But I also then, and this is so probably knee jerk for women, get paranoid about being written off, or, oh, she's just bitching about women or whatever. But fuck that. I feel like it's so much more powerful to be, like you're saying, vulnerable, showing yourself,
Yeah.
asking the questions, talking. Oh my God. I started trying to gather women musicians together for that reason alone. And some of the women are the ones in the scene right now. And for me, based on like never having done that really when I was in my 20s, I just really wanted to do it now. Like, things I wish I would have had was my motivation. Like, sure wish I'd had somebody else to talk to about like midlife and long distance running with music, and or just like lifting you up to say like, what do I want to say? Like, to validate you and say you're an art, you are good enough, like you're an artist, like you alone are an artist. You don't have to have the band, although the band creates great things as well.
That's a whole other thing, right? But
yep,
don't you think so? That's a really interesting topic, and I just want to sort of offer into consideration. You also, I mean, because I feel the same way, and I've always thought that. But I also feel like I had some of that, but they were also coming from the same sort of place as women. You know what I mean? And but what I want to offer is that you can't really teach that. Do you know what I mean? Like all of this sort of stuff that, especially, I mean, all the spiritual work that we're doing now, it's like that's when you start to really like, because half the battle is knowing who the fuck you are. And do you know who the fuck you are when you're 20? I certainly didn't.
Right.
I was posing, right? I was just talking about that. I was busy posturing because I thought that that's what it was necessary, and it's taken me this whole experience of exploration into self and the music, simultaneously, and the breaks,
Yes.
I'm not one of those prolific writers that just like spits out 1,000 songs a day.
Thank you. Me too. Thank you.
Oh my God. Oh, see, look, we're validating each other.
We are. I'm like you. Yeah.
But but like all of that experience has led me to this moment, of like self-understanding, self-knowledge, feeling like, or even knowing that I want that, knowing like why was I so fucking tormented for so long? Because I didn't know who I was, and I was defending. I felt like I had to defend who I thought I was.
Mm-hmm.
Do you also think too? I also think at that age too, you are just like, as you're in it, it's all new. So new things are coming at you, and you're coping and enduring. Not that everything was so hard, but sometimes it was. Like if things happen fast or you're in it, what else are you going to do with something new? But like, oh, this is as much as I know, so this is as much of the reaction I can give or solution. And you're right, like in your 20s, you might not even know any better, and you get to know better by having the experience. But then you couldn't have known.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think too,
oh, I love your ring. Oh my God, I'm obsessed.
Okay, thanks. It's my cleanser. What was I going to say? Yeah, just when you're just doing it, right? You're in there, you're doing it. You are creating basically your history. And not many people give you the pre-knowledge on like, so here's what it's going to be like, and you might want to consider this, and la la la. So a little bit those get together.
And it's not just as musicians, right? We're front people. We're singers. So we're telling the story. we're out in front, we're leading the band, and that is always in question anyway, right? Because like, we're granted we were we were rivaling or trying to rival Marshall sax.
Oh my God, thank you.
Simple things like, can you fucking turn your goddamn on?
Yes.
Just like a half of a fucking notch there, like whatever, all of those things. And I appreciate what you just said about like, it wasn't all bad, you know.
No.
I love being in bands. I love touring. I wish I would have toured more in my lifetime. You know, I'm not dead yet, so who knows? But you know, the whole experience, I appreciated it, and it felt like family. You know, there was this whole sense of like, you know, strength and connection. But that role is really intense, and you know, it's like, and it is male dominated, and I mean, and it's, I mean, I hate to say this, but the whole scene it's also very white male dominated. Those things.
You are not wrong.
I'll just apologize right now.
No, all right. Well,
thanks a lot.
I think, you know, I like that you said like, no, it wasn't all bad. Of course, like a lot of it was fantastic. Like how lucky were we to be a part of a music scene that exploded like that, and then all the good things like that happened during that time. The fact that I would say the majority of people in and around the Northwest area, like music was a focus, like either attending concerts, buying music, and anywhere from the Microsoft dude to some student in Bellingham to Portland. I mean, it was so huge that, you know, we all often say like you could, and this is no lie, you could go to a show on a Monday, Tuesday, all of them would be sold out. Like, because one, people were focused on music, but also Seattle was different. It wasn't what it is today. It was inexpensive. It wasn't crowded. It was comfortable. So a lot of people could be there, right? Like I remember being in bands and like I could have an apartment and be a barista. I mean, unheard of now.
Yeah. Very different.
You know? Yeah. So I and it is what it is, right? In your 20s, that's what you're doing. You're learning and growing. But I also will say, I feel like a lot of the men that we were around in bands, treated us like equals. You know what I mean? Like, unless there was weird stuff, but like Hammerbox, I thought about this when James passed away. We went to his, like, you know, we're at the Comet and we were celebrating him, and it dawned on me, I was like, how unusual is it to meet like 3 different strangers who had no problem having a female as their lead, like the kind of men who would not have a problem with that, right? Like, or goodness, where it's like, oh, they want to be in a band with a gal, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I had some notoriety, I guess, so that's some of it, but the guys you played with, like Finn and all those people who were just stellar musicians, or Martin, right? Fabier, who I don't know, tell me what you think, but I think we were surrounded by there was a bunch of men that I feel like I was around who were for lack of a better way, were pretty woke, you know, and then there was a bunch of immature dickheads, but I feel lucky that
definitely a mix. I mean, I feel like, but I wouldn't say that that's the rule, you know what I mean? Like, I would say that was like you said, those were the people mostly in our band, you know what I mean? Like that was they did make that choice.
Yeah, you got to pick them too. You got to say like, I wanted to stay and work with you guys.
Yeah.
Sort of a reciprocal respect to some degree. But you know, even within that, I don't think that I think that they were also learning about themselves, right? And so like by being open to it, I don't know that that's necessarily by being open to it, you can also somehow be ignorant to the difference and the sort of support that I think that we could have used or we could still use, you know. It's just like you know, I feel like it's the same kind of thing as, I mean, sexism, racism, anything that is sort of like, it's kind of built into it, if that makes any sense. And we all are learning. I'm just so glad that we're all talking about it now.
Yes. Well, and let's just say just that at that era, the grunge scene was really, also snarky, sarcastic, just fit real well into the 20 immaturity, right? Like someone would say something shitty to you and be like, it was a joke. And you're like, what are you, 12? Like that sucked. Or I wouldn't even give you 12, maybe 9. But also it was easy to be, if you wanted to, like anytime you kind of wanted to take something grown up or serious, it was easy to diminish you or write you off as like, oh, you're so sensitive, or dismiss you somehow. Not necessarily just women. I'm sure it happened to men as well, but
Sure.
just dismissive in terms, so it's hard to sort of level up in terms of, your knowledge or wisdom and all that kind of stuff. I would like to point out, and I think this is a true point, like, just like I've seen other articles say with like Bjork, where her recordings get put into question, like, well, did you write that or whatever? Like, how is that even being questioned, right? But I want to point out, like, the women I know picked the musicians, wrote the shit, like did things on purpose with thought and like making their art. Like, this is an active intellect. Like that's one thing I like to call out too. Like, let's just remember, like, this person saw this and put this together, and it's not like everybody else couldn't have a voice in it, but like, that's a smart person who goes, I'm going to go do this. So just let you know, I'm real awake and making purposeful decisions for reasons.
And I don't know if your experience is similar, but like, it took me until the pinups. So when I was in my late 20s, right? Early 30s, I guess. Late 20s, to know that I was a fucking songwriter in the first place.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I had been writing songs with 3DSNM and, Business and whoever. Zip. Anyway, writing music and, writing melodies, writing lyrics. And like at that point, it wasn't really, and even now, there's still always this kind of question like, well, are you really, did you really write the song? Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Finally at the point where I'm like, in most music, like when you break it down, lyrics, words and melody are like 50% of the song. And you could literally have us sing a song a cappella and it's still the same song. So, you know what I mean? Like, I just kind of like having that understanding of what it even is, like, and then having to defend yourself or not having an understanding of what it is or what you're even doing, right? You're just playing in a band. I'm a singer, so that's what I do. That's what I thought, right? But then, not without that understanding and then being questioned sort of along the way. Like, York, I mean, must have been to do with the sugar cubes, right? I mean, we know that she's a composer.
No, it was her solo stuff. Like her solo, I remember watching this documentary where she was talking about like, this is post and all this stuff she's done since, like, getting questioned. I mean, it was getting questioned about like whether or not, look at Grimes, like electronica stuff, the artist Grimes, like she gets other people going, hey man, now that when she got well known or more well known, people were coming to her going, hey, let's work together. I'd like to produce you. And she's like, I don't need you. I produce all my shit.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah. And
like,
I
let
do
me
it
produce
well.
you instead. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
I think what she should be saying is, I think what you really mean to say is, you produce me.
Exactly. Yeah. But I mean, it just takes, I just have been thinking like, it takes away juiciness from the quality of the artist if we don't say all that she does. And I'm talking about women, right? Like, let's think about that and let her be a complete picture of excellence, and all that she's capable of and all that she's making. Because the whole world misses out on something when you don't, if half the story is told, like, you need female artists, right? Like, wow, she's actually, if we get down to the nitty gritty, she's capable of this, and this, and makes this, and this is how she does it. The whole story, I feel like, is really important.
Absolutely.
And I remember along the way, just, there's natural moments where you're in bands and then you go do solo stuff. And like you're saying, like for the natural reason, like I need to know, and anybody in a group, and I don't even mean just bands, but like anytime you're in a group effort, at some point you're going to want to know what it's like to complete your own sentence. Right? Like what is just my thought? Like
Yeah.
I just want to know what my alone completed thought is. And that's how I felt about songwriting. At some point I was like, I just want to know what I do by myself completely. Like what is a song like,
And I think that you and I have a similar relationship with other instruments.
Yes.
Where like, they're kind of a means to an end. Like that's always like I only picked up the guitar.
Yes.
I picked up the guitar because I literally wanted to be able to write songs, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And like the fact that I toured in Europe playing guitar, fronting the Rotten Apples is like insane to me because I still wouldn't be able to tell you what fucking chord I'm playing unless I'm playing open chord. You know what I mean? Like
yes.
And it still remains the same. Like I'm learning to play the piano now. I started when I was really, really young. Like there was always piano in my house, but I never committed to it the way that I committed to voice and to singing. But it's an interesting thing that now is when I'm really doing it because it's kind of like that thing where you're learning really now. I feel like, oh, I know who I am and I know what I want to do. You know? I mean, at least I know what my intention is behind it, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Intention to get to that, to access that real, authentic, vulnerable humanness that we all have. Like, then this is the instrument that supports that,
Right.
And
and we get to see more of you because you're completing your own thoughts, right? Like the fact that you pick up a guitar and or piano
mm-hmm.
and now you're independent. So you're right, you and I are very the same. Oh my god, now I got like 8 thoughts in my head. Brain break. One, I'm going to back up a little. One, never even up until now, it's starting to happen now, but not out loud as much as I'd like. Voice is an instrument.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry, but like
Amen.
I think about my voice like a guitar player thinks about their guitar, his or her, right? Mm-hmm. Like I think about how I sing, not to be pretentious, but like I'm fascinated by what I can do with my voice, and I think about it that way. When I'm recording, I am intently listening to like every tone, inflection, character. It's complicated. Everything is complicated, and it's an instrument. And you're right. In bands, Jesus, which is impossible, right? Fighting over a Marshall stack or guitar. It was like me and the guitar player.
Yeah.
And then what the terrible situation would be, the audience bitching that they can't hear you. Right. So I'm like, oh, well, let's all get in this fight with me and the guitar players and let's just make this awkward right now. Right. So right away, the young male egos just, doesn't cope with that well. God bless. It was a slight passive aggressive battle. Right.
Yeah.
But talking about the voice, like, I don't think even to this day, get into a conversation where someone goes, oh, I can see all that goes into the voice. And now we've got all these friends who are men who are taking on singing, and they're like, oh, and I'm like, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the old, like, oh, well, I mean, I pretty much always, maybe not in the last few years or so, but like, I've always been that person, that band member that would like fucking have fear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be like, there were times, and I remember, and I would get defensive about it because people would say like, oh, you don't do any loading and I'm like, how? You're literally like looking at me with a freaking amp in my hand, and or like, okay, but like maybe me doing it, I'm carrying my instrument.
Totally.
Yeah. Hey, you just chose a lighter instrument. Come on, it's not your fault.
You just made it so now I don't ever want to pick up your
right.
You know what I mean?
But, Well,
that's a really good point. It is an instrument. It is, and it's a very sensitive instrument.
yeah.
And like taking care of that instrument is different than, purchasing something to,
Yeah.
Well, it's bonded to you. It's part of you.
Right.
You have to work harder to take care of it.
whole
Yeah.
bodies to
Mhm.
really to be able to perform at that level,
Well, and I'm sorry that body part goes down.
buy some new strings.
Right. Right.
I mean,
And like that body part goes down, you got yourself an instrumental night. Like,
Yeah.
you're right, it's physical.
yeah.
And like you were talking about getting an operation on your vocal cords. Like I lost my voice in Hammerbox and got nodes.
Oh, you
Look-
did.
Mhm. One time we were touring Europe, completely lost my voice. Like if I opened my mouth to talk, nothing would come out.
Oh my God.
Oh,
that's
no.
Funny
the
enough though, like when I would sing, I could sing like because it's a different place right in your throat.
worst.
But I had to stop. We had to cancel shows and be silent, right? You just got to take the break off that. And then when I came home, I took lessons from Greta Harley. I'll say and I have always said, she changed my world around that. She was the first person to ever talk to me about what it means to be an artist. She taught me how to sing, not to sing over amps. She would say like, don't do it. You're not going to win. Don't push it. But she also like taught me ways to get grounded before a show. And ever since then, post that, I remember like I never lost my voice again. Like I had very strict like things I wouldn't do. Like
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, and honestly, like, because I had that happen to me. It was during the pinups era where I lost my voice for a solid month.
Oof.
Ooh, yeah.
Did have a node, but it was what they had said was like it's soft. What we worry about is when they get callous. Now I don't know if that's the same thing that became this polyp, 25 years later or whatever it was, or if it was a completely different thing. But that happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I kind of just like. I didn't do what you did, unfortunately, which is like completely like, make that the focus. Like that should have been my focus going forward for the rest of my, my days as a singer. But it's why was I talking about that? So you did it, and then you had
instrument. Yeah.
I guess it just has to do with I know what I was going to say is that a lot of it isn't necessarily to do with when you're singing, right? Like most of the damage happens when you're done singing and you're partying your dick off and you're talking over music that's playing in a club, trying to get in somebody's ear. Like that is the worst place to got uncomfortable even trying to fake that.
Right.
It's like that's where the damage happens. Like when I had worked with the speech therapist after my surgery, it was really more about like, this is how you talk. This is how you're speaking.
Yeah.
I was bartending at the time. So it's like, forget singing.
Well, and people don't know, like you learn a lot when that happens as a vocalist or but like you just said, talking is harder on your voice, especially when you're not like, I could like talking, I could talk like that, like when you're kind of laying into your neck, your voice, like, oh my God, and it's down here as opposed to up in your palate. So it's like up here, right? So you're not resting or rubbing. And then I was learning too, like whispering is the worst.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like really whispering is harder on your voice.
Well, it's like that vocal fry thing that all these kids are doing these days. Like that is the ultimate terrible. Because it's somewhere between a whisper and a talk, right?
Oh my God, yeah.
Like,
all these poor ASMR YouTubers are going to be in a lot of trouble. Then.
Totally. Yeah. Totally.
Well, and then there's the other side of that experience and the experience of working with, men and women, whatever, like the people that do understand that or developed an understanding about that along the way, or even we're just listening, will support you in that, right? Like,
yes,
you want to get out of here, like,
Yeah.
We're done playing, like, and you're talking all these, we should split or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a real grow up moment, like around from just like, dude, I'm in a band, to, especially when you get popular and you lose your voice, right? Or you go through that experience, you have to take it serious. Like I would end up going, I don't go to a show before
Right.
you play, right?
Yeah.
Because the talking is so damaging. Not that you don't love everybody, but it's wears and tears on your voice. And then when it's your living, boy, I mean, that's why I got so like, well, shit, like we're signed, we have to tour. I can't go down. This is the job, and
Yeah.
this is my tool. And so it was a grow up moment around lots of things, like just what I ate.
What you're supporting everybody else, right? Like if
Oh
you don't
God.
take care of yourself, then you're in
Yeah.
essence taking care of your whole band, right?
Right. And it's hard to when you're young, when you realize that, but not everybody's grown up to that yet. God bless, right? Like just, because then you now have more knowledge, but you want everyone to take that seriously, but that's not necessarily the case. I don't know.
It's gonna happen when it happens. It's like anything
Yeah.
else.
Yeah, exactly. But back to like, so when you pick up the guitar, and you're so right, like you and I are like I picked up the guitar so that I could be independent, not because I love the guitar.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't, and I'm like, people try
God
and
bless,
talk
yeah.
to me, I'm just like, oh, it's like fucking Charlie Brown grown-ups, like, okay, yeah, like, just tell me where to plug it in, how to get sound out of it, like, I don't.
Yeah.
And and the downside of that, the downside of not falling in love with the guitar completely,
Mhm.
like at least not madly in love with it, is that I never got any better.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I just
I
never
getcha.
got any better. I didn't care. I didn't, at the time, I just really didn't. I was like, I just want to be able to, hold it down rhythmically, which,
Yeah.
that's kind of like it comes fairly naturally to me. But like, if you're not pressing if you're doing
Yeah.
something, it doesn't sound good. It turns out.
Well, and like, yeah, you're right. Like if you don't practice, you don't get better, right? That's right. I mean, the great guitar players that we know have probably, been playing or practicing their guitar
Since they
from,
were teenagers or
yeah,
younger,
and
like,
they love it
And they do it
and there's
all the time. Yeah. Like,
all the
yes,
time.
down the toilet playing. You're like, come on.
yeah, that's right. That 10,000, is it 10,000 hours?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, yeah,
Yes. Well,
they
like
said
Danny,
that ages ago, where I'm like,
right? Not so much. Well, like Danny used to sit, like literally used to get up in the morning he would grab coffee and his guitar, and he would play for like 3-4 hours.
yeah,
But what I envied was he loved it. I mean, there's honest love for what they're doing, and I don't have that, and that's okay. I no longer apologize for that. I'm like, look,
absolutely not.
these are the things I like, and if I get someone else to play the guitar because I don't want to, who fucking cares?
Well, and it's for me, like, I love that freedom, and I think I really discovered this playing with Squires, or like, around that time when we started playing together, how much I enjoy that freedom of being able to improvise, like really just to go where I want to go in the song.
Yeah.
I'm not, if you would have asked me, if I like write a melody and stick to it or try and stick to it every time I played, I probably would have told you that I did. But in truth, that's not me at all. Right. I rarely sing the same thing. Yeah. Rarely in music do I like, duplicate even a melody, or a rhythm pattern or whatever. It's like, and I fucking love that.
That's all you need to know.
No, I was an improviser until, way later in life. Because I was terrified of improvising.
Really? Why?
Yeah, I know my mom's an improviser and all this. It really makes sense. But I felt unsafe. Like I didn't want to fuck up. I always wanted to be, I'm a perfectionist. I know why. Who am I kidding? I'm like, I got this, like, oh, it's got to be perfect. But, Martin is one of the people who really taught me about my voice. I think playing with like Steve Ross, Stevie Nicks, and Dan Kempthorne, another amazing guitar player. But I just like working with them and learning, hearing and learning and experiencing and listening to other music as well with these musicians. Like the sort of the imperfections are so beautiful. Like I love it in other people. Why wouldn't I? Anyway, I'm getting away from myself, but the bottom line or the point of the story was to say that when I'm not holding an instrument, I'm freer with my voice.
Yes.
I will go places that I would not necessarily go if I was, focused.
Yeah. You hit it on the head. Yeah. You hit it on the head. It's like, you can go so many places with your voice, but you're physically free to move. Right. And I enjoy that. Like I just want to be this vessel. Like I want to sing and then I want to move. That's what I enjoy. And you're right. With a guitar, I would literally like fucking forget, I'd start to get in my head singing and then be like, oh shit, I got to play this thing too. And it's just, I'm the same way. Like I don't practice, right? I like it to write. And I'm like, well, Carrie, if you wanted to be better, you have to practice. And I'm like, I realize that.
Yeah.
I realize that it's not what I want. In fact, when I did my last record, I over and over openly said, like, I'm not playing anything on stage. I want to just be free to channel whatever, like not only the music, but I look at music as healing. Like it might sound later age woo woo, but like I look back on that and go, oh, you're a healer. Like music is healing.
Yeah. And singing is toning. I mean, you're medicine or whatever.
And I like those things, I like to look at it that way. And I think a lot of bands do that, but I like to actively think about it that way. Like music is healing.
You're performing, you mean? Like,
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, I was talking to, a gal who used to actually, watch over Orion. She used to work at the Rock Candy, and she's had a daycare center forever. This is kind of rando, but I remember her going, I've never told you this, but she goes, I remember seeing you at Rock Candy and I looked over and it was like a beam of light. You know what I mean? Like just the image of like, you were like at the front of this ship and it was like a healer light coming out of you or whatever. And I was like, I love that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love that. And I like to be able to talk about that more out loud as I get older and not be embarrassed by that or like, apologize or go, I know it sounds crazy, but whatever.
Right. Give a disclaimer before you speak your truth. It's so
yeah.
You're not.
No, I get it. I get it. But I think that happens for a lot of people when they sing. I mean, you could say that, about Led Zeppelin, Freddie Mercury, like people, David Bowie, anybody who makes you shiver. That's a thing. That's happening, Yeah. And you're right. Tone.
They're allowing themselves to be inside of it. I mean, that's like right?
Yeah.
You can't share that kind of thing unless you're in it, right? Like unless you're experiencing that healing, as you put it,
Yeah. And it's an amazing feeling, Yeah. Well, and it's amazing feeling too. I think I've told you this before too. But talking about your mom and I love hearing you say like improviser. And I was like, well, yeah, that's in your lineage. And it's interesting, but I think, we all come into the world with our own lessons. And so it's really fascinating and awesome to hear you go like, oh, wow, I had this take as I'm doing it. But then I realize, improvising might be my lesson. And, you have a mom who I can't even begin to say is like how stellar she is. Yeah. And I was telling Ryan.
So free in it, right? Like so that's what I am like aim for.
Yeah.
I want to experience that freedom as an expression of love. Like that's what it's about, you know? And I like just what you just said. I love that because I feel the same way. Like I love fucking saying that out loud.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember
I'm choosing to be free in this as an expression of love. That's what the fuck it is. Call it what it is.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
I feel like I can hear it in your voice. Like when I was listening to your latest release and there's, the first song is Second Sight. I mean, I got shivers.
Oh, that's not my latest release, honey.
Oh, it's not?
No, girl.
Catch me up. Well, I'm dumb then.
No, not at all. That's fabulous. No, the Union Gospel is the most recent thing that I.
Okay, yes. Well, there's, oh my God, I can get into that one too. Yeah. Oh, no.
Hey, look, I'll take it. That just means that it's 4 timeless.
Well, hold on. I'm about to give you a waterfall of compliments because I need to get off my, because I'm a listener, right? So I'm listening to every tone, how you end your words, like snap this or that. And I'm like, fuck, this is good. Like she's in it, like on a level of capability that I was like dead on, snap, like snap with her. Like, but also when I go back to the pinups, like right before we got on here, I listened to Poolside and I was like, I needed to tell you this because I think it's just you need to hear it. But when I was growing up, I used to, the way I engaged with music was to listen to records, right? Mine was like Pat Benatar, Chrissy Hynde, and I would daydream about, being on stage or whatever and live it out, right? And the living it out in your head, the daydreaming feels good, right? It's a healing thing. It's fun. And I have been listening to you lately, like Poolside, and I was like, listening to you is helping me get back in my body. Like listening to you, like I am that girl, but I'm listening to you. Like I was listening to Poolside and I was like imagining me doing it, right? Like I've told you also, the incubators, I always get the names wrong.
For this life that you were going to, you better cover that. Now that you said it, I would love that. That's the biggest compliment I could even imagine. I'm so like honored.
Because imagine, I do this, when that song comes on, I'm literally like singing it out, like mimicking it in my room. I'm like, pull me incubator. I'm literally alone doing that going, I'm not ready for this life. I'm just like, it just fills my whole body. Like it gives me shivers. So I just want to, Buck, I just love you. You're making my life better.
Oh my God, you as well. I'm so grateful to be here right now. And honestly, I wasn't feeling hot this morning and I was like, should I reschedule? I was like, no, it's good. No. I knew it would feel this good. I don't know if you know this, but I'm recovering from COVID. So like,
yes, I do know that.
Oh my God. And it's fucked up because it'll just show up. Like I thought I was great. For 4 or 5 days, I've been like, I'm fine. I killed it. And I, whatever. And all of a sudden I was like, oh God, this doesn't feel good.
Oh,
oh no. Yeah.
That's the juice. And this is like, this is a part of, like if you start, experiencing your life as in a more holistic way, then you're able to see these little blessings, right? Like,
yeah,
that was a moment where I could have easily gone the other way, but I was like, no, I know this is going to be healing. This is going to be an experience that I want in my life. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to get to see you and talk to you. Like,
I totally get that though, too. Like, I isolate and I pull back when I'm not feeling good or, and I don't know if you feel this way, but like I've spent most of my life kind of as a loner, not like, rebel, but like as a loner alone, like doing the things with the people, but in my head. So when I don't feel good, I definitely retreat and I get nervous. Frankly, I get nervous. I get a little anxiety. And I had a little bit of anxiety today too, because I wasn't kind of feeling good either. And we're a lot alike. I'm like, maybe I should reschedule. I'm like,
dang.
God damn it, Carrie, God damn it. Like, just do the fucking thing. Like, don't back out. Ryan knows. Oh my God. Like, we do this podcast whenever, but there were times when I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, no. Yeah, no.
It's all right. There are times too where I'm like, maybe we'll cancel. And then I can feel good.
Totally. Terrible.
Well, another thing that's interesting about that is it really is about discerning when to do that and when not to do that, right? Because like and what you're committing to, right? Like when you commit to something, then you follow through. If it, like we left it kind of loose, you know, I don't think that either one of us would have felt bad if we would have, you know, canceled or rescheduled, is what it would have been. Right? But to know when it's like, okay, this is what I need right now, and it's not coming from a selfish place, like, but or knowing like this is, oh no, putting my step forward or my foot forward is what I need right now. You know, be true to yourself. You know, you have. It's like the, you know, I meditate a lot, and like, and that's new for me because I'm not very good at being consistent at anything.
Oh my God, you're like my sister from another mister.
Doing anything every day, I'm like, I've rebelled against that for so long. You know, my whole life I was like, I'm not going to school. I'm not going to do that, or I'm not. You know, instead of being like, I am going to do this. but the more that you do that kind of a practice, the more that you do that kind of a practice, the more that you have an understanding of what the actual feeling is. Are you having a reaction, or are you responding to something, right? Like, am I responding to the fact that I need to be resting, or am I reacting to the fear that I might have behind having a conversation? Or, you know what I mean?
Totally. 100% get that. And I'm just laughing at how alike we are, because you're saying things where I'm like, yeah, just like me. Yeah.
This has always been the case with us.
Yeah. Well, I think too, you know, I've been saying recently was to myself, I say, you want this rich life with people that you love. And hey, Care, that takes participation. Like, you got to call, you got to reach out, have the conversation. You can't build a great world of friends if you don't ever talk to them, you know? But I get, like, if I was really ill, because we're all feeling it right now. 2020 is almost over. The solstice is tomorrow. Like, people are sick. It's holidays. Like, it's just like the cluster F of whatever stress. And so there are days where I'm like, where I'm just tired, you know? And I'm like, you know what?
And you should lay down.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to allow the tired to be tired.
Lay down and stop thinking about it, you know? Like, you get that. You get what you need. It's like, it's why is that's so hard? I mean, not to like harp on being a woman, but that's another thing that is learned, you know? And it's not even necessarily learned, so much of it's instinct. You know, we're trying to take care of everybody else, but like, you can't take care of anybody if you're not taking care of yourself.
Exactly.
And like you mentioned, you're a perfectionist and you're an achiever. So it's sort of like, well, chop, keep working. And, you know, like, you should be doing this, and you should, because you can, and you should be like, I love when you said, like, I don't write consistently. I'm like, but I've been around people who write every day, and I have to make myself go, don't feel guilty about that. Like, just know yourself, and it is okay.
Yeah. Right. Like, you actually have to talk yourself through it, because I do the same thing. I still get envious. It's like, I feel this feeling of like, or inadequacy, you know, all of the things. Judging. I'm judging me. You know, you're your worst critic, as they say. And that's like, and that's one of the things. And that makes you feel, I don't know, you can tell me if this is the same for you, but like, for me, the inadequacy comes from feeling like I'm lazy, or I'm not doing
enough. Yes. Dude, maybe your mom's my mom. Yes. Like, I had a friend who literally said to me, and it hurt because it hit home for the kind of that thing that, I do to myself. They were like, wow, you're like the laziest talented person I know. And it hurt. Oof. It really messed my head up.
They said that to you?
Mm-hmm.
No.
And, it just fucked with all my triggers. And I was like, like, I just felt so bad about myself. Lazy's the word. Lazy.
Yeah, don't. That is like, it's like a dirty word. It's awful.
I mean, it's hard, because like, there's always somebody better or more productive than you, but like, you can't let that take away your joy of what you do. You know?
That's it. Yes,
and your joy doesn't have to look like the next person's joy.
Absolutely
And
right.
as a matter of fact, it's impossible for it
Yeah.
to, right? And this is like Lucy Suzuki.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you know her, so, but, and meanwhile, I'm thinking like, you have no idea who I'm looking at when I'm doing it. But Lucy Suzuki is like, my spiritual sister. She's a spiritual teacher. But she's always the one to remind me of two very important things. One, she always says, what the fuck are you talking about? Look at everything that you do. Like, do you need me to tell you what you've accomplished, what you do, all the things that you do? And the other thing that she says is like, it's a part of the work. It's just like we're talking about, like, you can't help anybody else unless you can help yourself. That's the same thing. It's like a part of the work is the rest. A part of the work is being able to discern between what is laziness and what is exhaustion or needing to recharge or a lack of energy. That's a huge energy exchange. Think about that. Just stepping on stage and sharing, healing yourself and everybody else. Like, that's huge. And we didn't know what we were like giving it away for so many.
Well, think about this. If you're empathic and you're going to be someone who gets on stage and is at the whim of all that energy, dude, that's a lot to like take in. And that's a lot to like try and stay grounded in. Just that, like, holy hell. Oh God, I love Lucy. She was anecdote, but she was one of the first people I called after my mom died. Like, instantly was like, called her and said, like, I need to talk to you. So I really appreciate her. And I love what you're saying about discerning the two. One of the things I feel like I've learned, at least that helps me, is understanding that none of this matters. Like, that the point of being here is to feel joy and love.
Yes.
That's it. I had a gal that I went and saw who was a healer, and I was at the start of like basically working through like just an ton of baggage. And we were talking about singing, and I was talking about anxiety, and I was in that mean circle of like kind of beating the shit out of myself about, well, I should because I can and people like it, but I don't want to, and I'm mad that I have anxiety, and just this circle of like, and she looked at me and she goes, it's okay if you don't sing. And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, if you don't want to sing anymore, it's okay. And just the way she said it clicked for me, like, not singing's okay. What is, it's just singing. Like, like it doesn't matter. Like, the point of you on this planet is to experience love and share love, right? And I really believe that, like, we aren't really, it's not about what you're doing, or I mean,
or your career or your family choice, or like however you choose to. Absolutely. No, it's about it's not all of it. Right?
Yeah.
It's about the experience of being alive in this human body, this go round.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I burst into tears when she said that. I felt such relief, like, oh, it's okay if I don't do it. Because I was never going to give myself that permission.
No way. No way. You fall through, put your head down, get in there.
Yeah, exactly. Work hard, endure, go, go, go. But you're right. Like you were saying, Lucy, pointing out to you, it is such a good thing to look back and go, really think about all the things you've done and made, right? That it's extraordinary that most everyone doesn't do, like doesn't get the chance to do, can't do,
right?
Hasn't done, whatever.
Currently, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure you're probably experiencing some of that yourself right now. So am I. It's like I'm very grateful for the fact that I'm very attracted to the piano. So I'm practicing almost every day, but there's days when I don't. And instead of being like, oh, you're fucked, and now you're 50 steps backwards or whatever it is, I'm like, no, okay, I'm learning how to play guitar. I'm in pre-production for a new record. I'm like, it doesn't have to feel, you don't have to be busy all of the time in order to be actually doing these things.
Well, and think about how much joy you're missing out on in the critique. Yeah. Like,
If you want me to tell you what we're doing?
yes, exactly. Well, and that's why I think the slowing down to go, because you miss it. Like, that's what sort of keeps you from being satiated, is that you're so in the doing and the judging. You like you should be doing this, that like, are you enjoying the thing happening at all?
Yeah,
And so
very good point.
I refuse to go any faster than enjoying it. Because once I start getting, I can feel it the minute I start to kind of exit the building. And I'm like, nope, nope, no. Like, then there's no point doing this. Especially, I guess, at my age, you know what I mean? Like, I had to take a long time, especially in the last year, to really, really concrete figure out some things around music. Like, instead of getting hurt by things or feeling bad, taking it personally. And so one situation I had just made me so sad and upset and anxious, and just it literally, I imploded on the inside. I was like, wait, are we gonna, okay, is this what we're gonna do? We're gonna implode? Like, I don't want to implode. And so I was like, well, what do we know? What do we actually really know? And that helped. I was like, I know that no matter what, I can write music, perform music, record music, listen to music, and no one will ever or can take that away from me.
Right.
That's mine all day. I don't even have to think about it. And that just calmed me down. Because the rest of it is sort of like at the whim of others. And that's fucking exhausting. What if somebody doesn't like me? Oh, I'm not popular anymore. You know what I mean? Like, or, oh, KXB didn't play my record, or, you know.
Yes, girl. I was going to just ask you, actually, I was just thinking about this, is, you know, now as we enter into this new age of fucking social media and interviews online, and now we have to, but like, even before that, I feel like this whole experience about, like, you know, talking to your telephone,
oh my God, yeah,
telephone or computer screen, but even beyond that, just like, even if it's a recording or whatever, right? Like, I hate watching. Okay, hate is too strong, and I also don't want to throw that into the universe. So I am uncomfortable with putting myself out there, and I'm realizing that it's a lot of self-judgment. It's about like, oh, it's not perfect, and you know, and do I sound stupid? And do I look a certain way? Do I look old? Do I look whatever? I mean, I don't really care about that part, but as an example. But I don't love it. But what I'm realizing, the lesson in not loving it, is that, like, this is a place where I should put my foot forward, right? It's learning to love myself. It's about that. It's about being able to see who I really am, you know, on screen, and not trying to fix it.
Right.
Because this is sure. What am I going to do? And that is a blessing about this whole experience. It's because, you know, everybody's doing it now, right? Everybody's got a TikTok and a fucking flip flop and a Twitter tweedly diddly and all that shit. And I started using Twitter as like my basura, my garbage can. Like, this is where I say shit that I don't want everybody to know that I'm saying.
Yeah.
Or that isn't like a, you know, from a fucking namaste kind of thing.
Yeah.
Dude, like, I crazy shit on there, and I'm like, and at first I was like, I'd go back and I would like delete stuff, and then I was like, no, this is my dumping ground. I'm venting here, and I don't care. Like, these are my thoughts, and you know, and same with, so now my new thing is, I'm starting to record, and I'm trying to start posting things that feel uncomfortable for me, you know, not specifically that are uncomfortable for me, but even if it feels uncomfortable. Like, I posted a couple of things of me like singing and playing piano, and it's like, it's not even close to perfect. I'm learning to play you know what I mean? Like, why? So just do it and put it out.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think what's really important to do here, and this might be just like game changing too, is like, look at you know, like, change the story that you're
Right.
telling about yourself. So
Mhm.
it could be, this is how I'm telling the story, or it could be, and it's real, right? To say, you're a fucking accomplished musician, talented, great. You don't need the wondering if you're good enough story, because that's not a truth.
It's an old story,
It's an
right?
old story.
That's so true.
It's
And
not a truth.
I got to tell you, the reason that I even brought it up is because I'm very inspired by all of the. I sadly, right when you started the workshop, the last workshop was like day 3 of my COVID experience, and I was like, oh God, but like, I love it. Like, just seeing these little videos that you pop on and you just say like, what's on your mind? Like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm having this experience and I
Mhm.
want to share it with you. You
Yeah.
know, like, and here's a thought. Here's a thought. Think of, maybe try, if you have this kind of experience, maybe think
Yeah.
about it this way. You know,
Yeah.
like, and that's just because you're just being you.
Right.
Yeah. That's
And
a long time coming.
like,
Because I'm like you. I mean, I'm like you in that, like, when COVID hit, I got off all social media because I needed to. I just was, for that time I did for like 6 months.
mm,
I didn't start really getting into doing the coaching thing because I hated the idea that I would have to be on social media. I wasn't emotionally in a good place.
yeah.
And so I didn't. And for the 6 months, I took purposeful isolation. And like, I'm like you, I meditate every day. Like when my mom passed, I needed it. Like, so I did. And I'm like you, like, I think I've said many times, I don't think I've ever done anything consistently unless I was in a band, you know what I mean? Like, but that's an experience that levels you. And so I needed it, and I do it to this day. And the more I do it, the more juicy it gets,
Yeah.
because I process there, I get truth there, I work shit out there. Even though people think,
You're letting shit work itself out. Like,
mhm, yeah,
like
yeah,
you're offering yourself, you're allowing yourself that stillness
yeah.
of being okay.
And then, like, all of a sudden, through, because of the work or whatever, I did it, I think, enough things. And like, I've done things like seen healers and all kinds of stuff that I believe are equally as uh powerful and true, like just getting old energy off of you, getting ancestral things off of you, has felt pretty miraculous. Like, just garbage, let's just talk about trauma in your body, right? Like,
Yeah.
over the course of time, like, that's a thing, and it has helped me feel lighter, releasing a lot of stuff, forgiving myself a lot. That's big, that's the hardest. And at some point, I think I just done it enough where I was like, I did a lot of work, like, are you in or you out? What are you doing? Are you in or you're out? Like, are you going to coach or are you not? And I'm like you, I was like, and it's not going to be perfect, and it doesn't fucking matter. So that's when I got kind of comfortable going, and I want my future so bad, and my present, that I hit a tipping point of like, okay, I'm ready. Okay, yeah. And truly ready in my body. Like, in my body, not shoving myself, not doing all that stuff I talk about, but like really, and when you're intuitive, when you're like, okay, yeah, I'm ready. And it's important not to do that any sooner than when you're really ready, because there's no reason to do it. Like, I don't have to coach. This is not something I'm supposed to do. It's just, I'm so deeply grateful, deep gratitude to honestly be doing something that truly is me.
Right.
Like, I would do this whether anyone was looking or not. Same with music, right? That was one of my things. Like, it took me a long time on a deep inside level to say, this is who I am.
Yeah.
And it took me.
I feel like I'm just beginning to say that with
right.
consistency, and like say it and be behind it.
Yeah.
Really stand in it.
Yeah. Hey, I want to ask you about, so I also saw that you got certified for yoga and yin yoga. I totally want to talk about the yin yoga.
It's really funny, and I was just going to say, because you were talking about having stuck energy in your body, I really feel like that, the yoga, the practice of yoga has really saved me, because I carry a lot of stuff, physically. We all do. But the movement of the moving meditation, it changed me. Yeah, I wish that I was able to practice in the studio and teach. Teaching and practice, it's all the same. It's all part of the practice. But the yin yoga, now I was real resistant to it at first because I am who I am, and I'm like, oh, this isn't gonna do shit, right? And I can't remember what. It was literally because I was uncomfortable with it. I decided to get the training.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically. So I teach Hatha and Vinyasa, but then this opportunity to teach yin, and I just fell in love with it.
So I'm familiar with the other yogas.
Yeah,
exactly. What is yin yoga?
Oh, okay. So yin yoga, yin is the yin to the yang. So yang energy is like masculine energy, very active energy, whereas yin is feminine, softer stillness.
Okay.
Any of those sort of, it's the dark to the light? I can't remember which one, but it's the negative to the positive. All of the what is the word? Opposites, I guess. Mm-hmm. So the actual practice is a still meditation. So you get into these poses, these postures, and you just stay in them for long periods of time. So you're allowing, and what you're doing within that is, obviously there's a meditation behind it, but you're allowing all of the connective tissue. So you're working with your fascia, your ligaments, your all of this sort of smaller, not big muscle groups. You're working with that, and you're allowing it to release itself.
Yes.
Right. That sounds a lot better than the aerobic yoga.
Don't want to force anything, right? So it's really about finding where you have any kind of sensation at all and staying there. And then you hold it for, up to 5 minutes. And it's so juicy. Yes. I mean, that shit changed my life. And go figure. Right? I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. I'm just like, that's all I want to do.
Yeah. I'm telling you, if you from your house, all right, if you from your house like just did yin yoga, I would pay for that and I would take your yin class. Because when I was like reading that you did yin yoga, I was like, oh my God, she does yin yoga. I was like, I want that.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's talk.
Okay.
We'll
talk. We'll talk. It's well, and I thought same reasons. Like I went and got certified. I just did a 200-hour yoga teacher training a few years ago, and I actually, I didn't do it. I really didn't go into it to teach. I just, again, as another healing modality.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just remember yoga is like yoga and getting in contact with like your breath and your body movement, and just forces you to be in your body. And man, that just brought stuff up too. Like my whole saying in yoga was like, namaste, motherfucker. Like I just would be mad. I'd be flipping people off as I couldn't hold a pose. I mean, just things came up where I was like, like I hate this, or but at the same time, super grounding. And then have you ever taken, this seems typical but funny, anyways, I signed up for Kundalini yoga or Kundalini meditation.
Yes, did you tell me?
Yeah, so I literally got through one class, and the lady was so dead on. She was like, when you initially do this, you're going to hate it.
Yeah.
Because basically it forces the breath work, like say the dragon breath or fire breath or what? Fire. Is rapid breathing, right? And basically it's poking at your crap, and your crap will come up and your whole person will be like, oh, I hate whatever. And that's what happened. I was like, I fucking hate this. I got to get out of here. Because I so uncomfortable.
Isn't it? I certainly haven't studied it. I have done some of the practices within other classes. A lot of my, I don't want to call them coworkers because they're my homies. But a lot of my fellow instructors at the studio that I teach with, they've all done a lot of it. So there'll be like within a class maybe that they teach, maybe they'll do some breath work from Italy. But am I getting it mixed up with another style that isn't it also chakra work, Kundalini?
I'm sure. Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've studied a little bit of that a long time ago, and I don't know.
Okay.
I like the white robes. I was like, that looks cool.
You want the turban.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Well, I mean, it's one of those ways that like it's one of those practices that forces you to slow down and be in your body. And I mean, that's
And
why.
it's so terrifying that
Yeah.
feeling, at least initially. It's the
Right.
yin is the same for me. I just at that point, the reason that I went through with it is because I was ready for it, obviously, right? Like I knew that it was triggering me for some reason, and it was something that I wanted to explore, right? Like, why am I being so resistant to this? It's probably because I didn't check it out, you know. It's like, and it didn't happen 2 years ago. You know, I've been teaching since 2017, I guess, and you know, it didn't happen 3 years ago. It happened a year. It happened when it was supposed to happen. I wasn't ready then. You know, I would have gone into a Kundalini or a Yin class at that point and been like,
right.
Oh.
And that's such a good point too. When you're ready, and your gut will tell you that. That's why, like in the program thing on my page that you were talking about, all that stuff is saved too. If you want to go see, it's under the units thing. All the videos are. But that, like, the stuff you're talking about too, like the slowing down, like that's why I'm sort of. There's so much stuff that's in there as well. Similar, like deciding, like, well, in order to decide, you got to be able to hear yourself, which means you got to get silent and you got to slow down. You have to slow down and get quiet and actually hear yourself. Like just working on decide alone, like getting in touch with your intuition could take a year or so. You know what I mean? Like depending on where you're at.
No.
We just need it.
Practice, right? That's like that's why the meditation works, because it's a practice, and we do it every day. You know, I started with 3 minutes. I tell people all the time, if anybody's interested in meditating, I'm like, look, I would pick up my stupid iPhone and start the timer for 3 minutes, and I sat for 3 minutes a day, and then all of a sudden I was doing 5 minutes, and then I was doing 15 minutes.
Yeah, once you make the habit of it, it makes it easier. You just like you ease your way in. Yeah.
Well, you're because you're allowing yourself the experience. It's not about how much you do it. Like I had this experience also with yoga. Like one thing that I really loved about the way that people are teaching online and stuff these days is there's so many classes. At least in my studio, they teach. I am not actively teaching right now, but they do a lot of like 20-minute sessions, 25 minutes, half hour. Right. You know, I always was like, we should do the 45-minute classes. They do them in LA at our studio, but I love it because you don't have to. It's not about how long you do it or how aggressive it is. It's about doing it. Like I took one class, and it was the founder of my studio, and she was saying like it was a half an hour class, and she went through this whole series, and she held it for each pose for like 1 to 2 breaths instead of 3 to 5, right?
Right.
And she was saying that. She was like, it's about the practice. It's about doing it, having it become a part of your life. Doesn't matter how long you do it for.
Right.
Doing it.
Right. And it's about being where you are.
Yeah.
Be where you are. Be with yourself where you are. That's the practice of a lifetime.
When I do my own practice, because it's hard to motivate, like I love having access to be able to just go to the studio, because once you're there, right? You're going to do it. It's like you're going to get up and split out. But for me, so it's challenging. It's still challenging for me to get to my mat, but I know just get there. Even if you have to tell yourself like, I'm just going to go lay in Shavasana.
Totally.
You're mad, and all of a sudden, like it's been 45 minutes, and you're like doing sun salutations, like
right. It just makes you realize how much pressure we put on ourselves, and maybe it's even just like this culture is very do get. Like, who are you? What do you got? What do you own? And it takes effort to unravel that, like, and really understand a different set of values of what is valuable, right, in your lifetime, and that the juiciness, we love that. Well, juicy that's the word of the day on this little podcast. of that I know of getting in touch with yourself, like being able to sit with yourself, facing the things, realizing they won't end you, like that's it gets richer and richer.
Mhm.
And the more calm you get and the better you feel and the more you can get in touch with what you want to do, even know what that is,
Yeah.
and be kind to yourself, and like it's a better life.
And the
Bottom
more
line, it's a better life.
you become within your daily life, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
less reactionary, more responsive. It's like responsibility. Like, that's the thing that is always so exciting for me. The milestones, the biggest milestones in my life are in everyday interactions. It's like, that one conversation that I have with my mom where she's like, saying stuff, it's triggering me all over the place. I don't know why. I don't know, she's not saying anything terrible, but I'm getting triggered. And it's that one time where I'm able to go, I'm being triggered. I'm going to get off the phone. I don't I don't have to do this. And I definitely don't want to spew out a bunch of bullshit on her. I love her.
Yeah.
It's
I feel like it's like you're being conscious, right?
Yeah.
Like it's so easy through your 20s and everything to just be unconscious because you're just doing things and, like I said, enduring and discovering and all those things as well. But it's not
you
but
think
it's
I thought I knew everything. I really did.
Yeah.
I knew I was gonna like my older years, but I like more than I liked my younger years, but I still thought I knew what the fuck everything was.
I think that's the best thing about getting older is like starting to realize, oh, I really don't know anything.
Yeah, right. And that's the funny dichotomy of all of this stuff, right? All of these experiences is about, they're so close. It's like, what's the balance between like being lazy and being still? Like,
yes,
seen is the same thing, but they're quite opposite.
Right.
It just depends on how the story's being told, right? Like your perspective or whatever paradigm you're choosing to live in. Yeah. Like, because it all comes down to like what is true, like what is true, like is it true that I should be there's a list of things I should do? No, that's not true. And I think what happens when you get older too is then you've done a lot of things, you've been through a lot of things, and it's a natural moment to like kind of get to the top of a mountain, be that even just time, and go and reflect back, and then unravel and sort out, dump things, forgive, like this is what happens at this age. This is the thing that is midlife, right? And it's natural. Everyone will come to it. Some people choose to be more conscious than others. Some don't at all, right? But everybody is living differently. And that's what I kind of like about it. And I love what you said about talking to your mom. I've had a real appreciation on one things about remembering to be conscious, doing responsible things for myself. Like instead of crawling into a bottle of wine because we need comfort, ask yourself actively, what do you need? What's underneath this?
Right.
And what do you need? Like that's a responsible exchange for myself, as opposed to like, I'm just going to exit, like, because this is easy.
So unconscious.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, well, I just love that our conversation has been so superficial.
Can you maybe think about opening up a little bit more?
It's so closed off. Well, I know you're working on something new too, and I love that Union Gospel record too. I put I want to go look that the slow song on there that's toward the end of your Union. It's on the mix thing. Hold on, I'm gonna go look right now because it made me cry. Because that's why I was posting. I was like, without regret.
Yeah.
And I was like, so when I was posting, I was like, listen all the way through because that last one's a motherfucker.
Oh my God.
So perfect.
Like it makes me cry.
It's a goodie. Good job.
I thank you. I mean, honestly, that whole experience I'm so grateful for it because it really, one of the things that it taught me was like, well, how we were talking about being free with vocalizing and whatnot, it really helped me be free in also that kind of songwriting. That really, that was the first time that I walked into it with that kind of vulnerability, because, and all of the music wrote itself. You know what I mean? Not the music.
Yes.
All of the songs wrote themselves. Like Squires would send me something and I just would really meditate on it, and and the songs would be done. I'd send him something and he'd be like,
yeah,
fuck, this is great. I'm like, sweet. Okay. Like I'm in it. But that song, it's like we were, you know, Joe Bass plays on that song. You know, he played on like 2 or 3 of the songs on that album. And he was, you know, we all knew he was terminally ill at that point. And, you know, so that was some of the inspiration behind it, but you know.
Oh, see, that's a tear. It's such a beautiful song. It's like, I'm going to say the wrong word. It's transcendent. Like it just, like I needed that song. Like I cry around that song because it reminds me of my mom. It reminds me, but what I love about your performance on that, and I love that you're doing that, is because all we really want is you. Like people want you. Like, and when you sing like that, God, we're getting like, it's like we get to be with you.
Right.
And that's what I love about it. And people want that.
Now you're gonna make me cry.
But I think that's what people like about musicians when they're truly sharing themselves, is because listeners want to be with you, next to you, and telling your story because they feel it too. I mean, it's such a communing moment. It's such and the world needs it. It's totally
an experience, you know, and we not feel it, acknowledging that we're doing it together. It's like it's like a little nod to that. It's like when you are communing with music and with a person, you know, that's sharing that thing. It's a big deal. I mean,
it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. That song's like, congratulations for writing that song. It's so amazing. Yeah. And the recording of it. I love it. And I just think that's the beautiful thing about music, is the communing and the sharing. And I will sing to you my story, and you can be with me if it's your story.
Yeah.
And that it's lovely, right? Like it's a beautiful, kind exchange. It's not about being cool.
Right.
So I love that. Okay, DEJHA, on that note, I need a nap. No. And you know, I'm going to say how amazing it's been to talk to you. Like I really do want to talk to you about the yoga.
Yes, we'll keep to be continued, as my mom always says, you know, we'll keep talking. This is really lovely. And Ryan, thank you so much. This has been really fun.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it's been a pleasure to meet you, and appreciate the time that you take with us.
Absolutely. Hey, I'll do it again. Let's check back in a year.
All right.
I will do that. I will totally do that. Well, I hope you have great holidays. I hope you get good rest to keep, you know, let's exit the coronavirus. Like, I can't wait to hear the new stuff. I hope you have so much fun with it. You know, I just wish you fun and happiness.
Yes, and me, you.
Mwah, mwah.
Mwah. So much
mwah, mwah, mwah. All right. I love you. And I'll talk to you soon.
All righty.
All right, bye, everyone.
Bye.